Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Today it's Tuesday, April the 13th. It's a beautiful day outside in Canada and I thought, why don't I bring out a beautiful shoe, the Jordan 1 University Blue, and share with you guys some of my thoughts from a business perspective. Now, before we start, I just want to clarify one thing regarding this channel, and that is everything that's happening is from a business perspective. Every video that I post, every review I talk about, whether you should invest or not, is related to the business side of it. I am not, or I don't consider myself a high beast or a sneakerhead. Yes, I do have a lot of sneakers in my collection, but everything that I do has a business meaning to it. If I can get money out of it, I will definitely try and do that. And I consider all these shoes or all these investments, I consider them as an asset, and this is how they should be. An asset is something that's going to bring you money down the road, and never a liability, something that might cost you money down the road. All right. So just wanted to clarify this with you, and now let's get started. As you probably know, the Jordan 1 University Blue came out in March of this year. For US, the retail was $170. And for Canada, retail was $230. I guess this is the new number for Jordan 1s moving forward. And stock was pretty decent. I know in Canada, on Foot Locker website, we had about 3,000 pairs for the men's sizing. And that is pretty good compared to Mochas, for example, which only had, I believe, about 1,000 pairs. And we have seen some restocks throughout the month. I think the last one happened last week in the States. So overall, I would say stock was pretty good. In terms of quality, I'm not going to talk too much. There's so many, YouTube videos out there. I would say it's pretty good in my opinion. However, I have seen a lot of quality control flaws, whether it's some stain glues or some bad stitching. There are a lot out there. So this might be a factor down the road when you're reselling because, buyers tend to be picky, right? There's one thing to buy it for retail. You don't really care too much. But when you're paying resell, $400, $500, $600, then you might be a little bit picky in terms of, the quality control and maybe some flaws. So, just some thoughts, just something to consider. If you want to purchase a pair, make sure you do a good inspection and make sure there are no visible or major quality control flaws. In terms of the current market, if we go in StockX, we can notice that the prices go for around 400 to 450 US. And in terms of volumes, we're close to 22,000 sales on StockX. I'm not looking at Gold or eBay or your local sneaker stores. Obviously, the numbers will be a lot bigger. But for the sake of this video, we're going to look at StockX. So again, we're looking at 400 to 450 US as a resale price. And in terms of sales volume, we have about 22,000. And again, this only dropped in March. So within a month and a half, we're already at 22,000 sales. If we want to compare this to the Mocha, because those are the two major drops that happened in the last 5-6 months. It was the Jordan 1 Mochas and the University Blues. If you look at the Mochas, resale is about 5 to 550, and in terms of sales, we're about 45,000. I want to say 45,000, and the Mochas dropped late October, so November. We're already looking at about 5 months and 45,000 sales. And the University Blue is catching up. If you consider just 1 month, one and a half, 22,000, by 5 months, if they go in the same number, you're probably looking at, 100,000 sales, which I doubt it's going to happen. I don't even believe the stock was that big, but it's promising. It might go over the Mocha sales soon. Now, in terms of price prediction, again, we're going to go on StockX, and if we check the lowest ask, we'll notice that majority of them are somewhere between 450, 550, and then a couple of them at 600. So that's where most of the asks are placed, within the range of 450 to 600. If you look at the mochas, they're around 550 to 600, simply because it's been out longer. Resale is already at around 500, like I mentioned. So most of the resellers, or most of the asks, are comfortable, again, for the University Blue between 450 and 600, compared to the mochas that are around 550 to 600. Okay. Now, I've heard a lot of videos, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of suggestions and opinions that these will go up to $800 within the next year. I personally don't think it's going to happen. We were talking about the University Blue, something like the new TikTok Obsidians, but if you go and check the Obsidians, they're not even going for $600, right? And they've been out for almost 2 years. And if it weren't for the TikTok, I don't think the Obsidians would have skyrocketed the way they did. Yes, it would have went up in price for sure, but there's always a reasoning behind, like, why they skyrocket, right? If Travis Scott wears a sneaker, like it happened with some SBs, the price skyrocketed. If the TikToks, they had the Obsidians, the prices skyrocketed. The Last Dance documentary, right? A lot of OG pairs, whether it was the 1s, the 3s, the 4s, they skyrocketed, right? Had it not been for that, we would have probably talked about the Jordan 1 Chicago, the 2015 release, for about $1,000 right now, resale. As soon as the documentary happened, it skyrocketed to 1.8, maybe $2,000. So there's always that unpredictable. You never know what might happen. But if you ask me, my honest opinion, I don't see these going for $800. And the fact that there are not a lot of asks over 600 should tell you something, right? It's a good indicator that whoever has a shoe and they're trying to resell it, they're not comfortable or confident that this will go over 600. They're really happy to make their profits, whether it's going to be 450, 550, or 600, but that's about it. Yes, maybe you might have a pair or two, 2 years from now, that is going to sell for $800. But for this one, I have my doubts. Okay, and I've shown you guys some evidence. I've shown you some facts. I would say 600 would be a good number, maybe within a year or two. And then finally, is this a good investment? I'm going to say yes, but I'm also going to say no. It's good investment because it's a safe one. It's pretty much a risk-free. I don't see them going under $400. And again, on the long run, just like with every other Jordan 1, mostly, the prices will go up, right? Now, one thing I'm going to mention, be careful when you look on StockX, because I have a feeling that some of the sales are actually holds or investments. So people are not really buying to wear them. Maybe like it happened with the Obsidians, for example, because resale was about, $250, $300 back then. A lot of people would buy and then actually wear the shoe. With these ones, and also with the mochas, I want to say, and I have a feeling that some of the sales are actually investments, all right? So pairs that are not going to go on the market for people to wear them, but they're going to be, maybe put in a storage, and then people will just recycle them 6 months from now or 12 months from now, right? So while the demand might go higher, I think the prices will kind of get steady, okay? So that's why just be careful with that when you decide whether to make the investment or not. But again, this is a risk-free. It's really safe to say that slowly prices will go up. And for that reason, I'm going to say, yes, it is a good investment. Now, from my perspective as, again, a businessman, entrepreneur, a sneaker reseller, I don't see this as a good investment, okay? And this is why. Resale, it's already high. It's about $400, okay? The chances of this shoe going to $800, so actually doubling my money, are really slim. If this were to happen, I may be looking at about 2 years from now, okay? This shoe might go to 600. I think that's more reasonable. But if I'm going from 400 to 600 within a year, it's not good enough for me. And I'll give you the numbers. Let's say I want to buy 5 pairs. I only have 2 pairs for the review. I'm not planning on buying more. But let's say I want to buy 5 pairs, okay? So I'm looking at $2,000 as my initial investment. That's $2,000 that I'm looking to lock for the next year. I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to do anything with them, all right? Let's say from $400, it goes to $600, all right, within the next year. So 600 times 5, I'm looking at $3,000 return, and that's going to be $1,000 profit, okay? So from now until next year, not only have I locked my $2,000, but I'm only making $1,000, okay? Is that really worth it when you're talking business? Not really. If there's one thing that I've learned in the sneaker industry right now, it's there's never enough. There's never enough capital. There's never enough shoes to resell. So there are endless opportunities. If we look at the recent Jordan 5, the Raging Bulls or the Toros, right? It just came out last Saturday. I would have rather spent $2,000 on those and sell them real quick, and I would have been looking at probably $500 in profit already within a couple of days, right? And then I would take that $2,000 plus my profit. I'm already at $2,500. If I can make the same scheme one more time, I'm already past my $3,000 that I would expect from this shoe next year, okay? So for this reason, I don't see this as a really good investment, and that's why I'm not gonna buy into it. Now, if you have the capital, right? If you have the money and if you don't really care, all you want to do is do something that's safe for you and risk-free, yes, I would recommend buying a couple of pairs. But if you're in the reselling business and you want to have your cash flow, right? You don't want to lock your money for the next 12 months. You want to keep building and building and building, because profit-wise, you're not looking at, a really good amount, all right? Let's say from 400 to 600, that's only 50% in 1 year, okay? Roughly 4% a month. You can make a lot more by simply going to the Nike outlets, which I'm gonna show you in my next episode. Spend that $2,000 within a week or two. Maybe you might be able to double your money, okay? So that's the reason why I'm not gonna recommend this as an investment. Again, everything we do on this channel is from a business perspective. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts, whether it's good or not. But with this one, I am gonna say no. Personally, I'm not gonna invest. I might hold on to these 2 pairs, or I might sell them just because I would rather have the cash flow and be able to invest and reinvest and reinvest and reinvest and then go from there, all right? So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts as usual. I want to have some conversation with you guys. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to read your comments. We've had a good one on the foam runners, some debates, pros and cons as well. I want to have the same conversation for the University Blues. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have any? Are you planning on holding? If yes, when are you going to sell them? Where do you see the price going? And as always, please comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe and God bless.